So the scoffers do not understand. They're ignorant of the creation, which was about 6,000 years ago, the flood, about 4,400 years ago, and the coming judgment of God. Now, before the flood came, during this period right here, during that period from the creation till the flood, according to the Bible, the people lived to be over 900 years old. Read Genesis 5. It could not be more clear. Adam was 930 when he died. Adam lived 130 years and begat Seth, and he lived 800 years after that. People say, where did Cain and Abel get their wives? Well, how many kids could you have in 800 years? Yeah, I'd say they married sisters. You see, married sisters? Well, calm down. Adam married his rib. Not a problem in the first few generations after that. It wasn't until Moses, 1,000 years after the flood, when God said, okay, that's it, no more close kin marriages. Because today, even Charles Darwin married his first cousin. After that flood came, things changed. If you read the Bible in Genesis chapter 10 and 11, lifespans dropped off to 400, then 200, then 100. Something changed after the flood. You know, reptiles grow all their life. You're going to stop growing when you're 16 or 18. At least vertically. Some go horizontally after that, but reptiles stop growing. They never stop growing. People stop growing. Do reptiles really never stop growing in the wild? I Googled it yesterday. Reptiles grow very quickly until they reach maturity. At that point, the growth rate slows down dramatically. They do continue to grow very, very slowly for the rest of their life. Do reptiles really never stop growing? Sharks aren't the only animal that keeps growing. Lizards, snakes, amphibians, and coral all continue to grow till they die. So do kangaroos, by the way. Who cares, okay? These are called indeterminate growers. They never stop. So the dinosaurs were simply big lizards that lived with Adam and Eve, because that was the time when people are living to be 900. I think we could assume things were different and everything was living much longer. You let a lizard or a reptile live to be 900, he's going to get 40 feet long. So the dinosaurs did not live millions of years ago. They're big lizards and reptiles that lived with Adam and Eve. Okay, so the question, if that's true, the question would be, did Noah take dinosaurs on the ark? People say, dinosaurs on the ark, they're kind of big, aren't they? Well, the big ones were big, but the little ones were little. And Noah was 600 years old when he built that boat. I bet he'd be smart enough to figure out, I don't have to bring the biggest ones. Bring 2 babies. Just be sure to get a pink one and a blue one. That's all you got to worry about. I don't know how you tell on a reptile, but apparently they can tell. Let them figure it out. But after the flood, lifespans dropped off to 400, then 200, then 100. So I think some of the larger species of dinosaurs simply died out in the new climate. You could call that climate change because the canopy was gone. We cover all that on video too, what was different about that. Then, there used to be a canopy of water above the atmosphere. According to Genesis chapter 1, something changed after the flood. That fell down. Dinosaurs had 2 problems. 1, they died because of climate change. 2, people hunted them. But back in those days, they called them dragons. See, the word dinosaur wasn't made up till 1841. So people say, why isn't the word dinosaur in the Bible? Well, let's see. This book was printed or copied in 1611, and the word was made up in 1841. Do the math. I bet the word computer's not in here either. Or automobile. What does that prove? Nothing. Okay, think about it for 5 minutes. So, 1891 dictionary, I got some old dictionaries up there, I think, still does not have the word dinosaur in it. In 1891. It's just in the last 100 years or so they started using that word dinosaur, which means terrible lizard. The Bible talks about dragons, though, quite a bit. It says the poison of dragons, that breaks the head of the dragons. Dragons mentioned 34 times in the Bible. Here's an old dictionary from 1946, has the word dragon is now rare. Now, does that mean the animal's rare or the use of the word is rare? Either way, I don't know. But the human population of the earth today is about 7.4 billion people. In the year 2000, it was 6 billion. In the year 1800, just 200 years ago, there was only 1 billion people on the planet. In the year 1600, there was only 500 million, and much of the world was still unexplored and uninhabited. I mean, Columbus was running around trying to find this place 500 years ago. 1492, that's when the Indians discovered Columbus in their front yard. As the population of people began to grow after the flood, the population of ferocious animals would go down because they get killed off for land. How many grizzly bears are there in Connecticut County, Alabama? None, right? How many were there 500 years ago? Probably a lot. What happened? People move into an area and they civilize it. And if it came on the news tonight that there were 5 grizzly bears roaming around Connecticut County, do you know what would happen by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning? They'd all be dead because every redneck in the county would be out there with a rifle trying to shoot one, right? And whoever could shoot the biggest one would have his picture in the paper. Hey, Bubba shot the grizzly bear and saved the village, right? That's what happened to the dragons. Dragons are mentioned in all ancient cultures. The Chinese zodiac has 12 animals on there. Let's see, a boar, a dog, a cock, a bat, a rat, an ox, a tiger. Are those animals still alive? Yeah. Why is this one, a dragon, mixed in with 11 animals that are still around today? Could it be when they made up their zodiac, they were all 12 still alive?